What is going on, everybody? Just the Savage here. Welcome back to another Terraria Let's Play video. And today we are going to be tackling episode 30 of our Terraria Let's Play series. For those of you who have not seen the previous episode, in the last episode we conquered the Pumpkin Moon event, which quickly spiraled out of control, which led to me going into God mode and grabbing the last prism, which is the best weapon in the game, and massacring the rest of the Pumpkin Moon. Now guys, I didn't tell you in the last video that while I was off camera in the last video, I was getting so satisfied by just beating up all of the enemies that I literally sat here for 5 more minutes and just killed everything. That was part of the reason why there was so much loot on the ground and why there's 4 chests back at our base that is holding all of that junk. But let's not focus on that, because that was, albeit satisfying, was still kind of annoying. But in today's video, we are finally going to be doing one of the biggest boss fights in the game thus far. We are going to be fighting the Lunatic Cultist. And the Lunatic Cultist, if you guys have watched my top 5 favorite bosses video, you will know that this is my second most favorite boss in the entire game. He is very quick, has tons of attacks, does a different variety of does a variety of different stuff, and it's just a very fun fight. Now, before we actually start this fight, I have to tell you guys that once we destroy this guy, it's going to set something in motion that cannot be avoided. I believe it's called the Celestial event. And 4 supernatural pillars come down, and they're all over your world. You have to defeat all 4 of them. And once you do that, that summons the Moon Lord, which is the current final boss of Terraria. So, I'm probably going to make this video on the Lunatic Cultist, and then a little bit later on down the road, I am going to make one video for each pillar. Each pillar is different. Each pillar has different kinds of enemies, different kinds of attacks. The pillars never attack directly. It's the enemies that are protecting it. You have to defeat a certain amount of enemies in order for these force fields to go down from the pillars so that you can attack the pillars directly. But we're not going to focus on that right now. We are going to focus on the Lunatic Cultist. So once I defeat this guy, it's going to set in motion a series of events that I have to fight through. So without further ado, let's get started. So taking a quick look at our inventory before we get started, I made sure that we had plenty of stuff for this fight. We have potions, we have our vampire knives, we have holy arrows. I think I'm going to give myself some more. I also have the Savage Horseman's Blade that I got in the previous video. But I think I'm going to get myself some more stuff, because this guy has a lot of health, and we want to make sure that we have as much stuff as we can possibly hold. This guy does not drop too much stuff. He does have loot, but he doesn't drop too much stuff. I also want to make sure that we have plenty of holy arrows. I'm too lazy to make these myself. And besides, we're getting so close to finishing off this series. Thank you guys so much for being here throughout this entire series. It really does mean a lot to me. And I am actually quite glad that we're doing this. But without further ado, let's get into it. First off, I am going to spawn in a bed. I'm going to spawn in a bed so that I can set my spawn point here, and then once I do that, I will be able to save the fight if I die. And you guys all know me. It's highly probable that I am going to die in this video several times. So if it will let me, I'm going to get out of this, and then I'm going to set my spawn point. That is, if it will let me. That's weird. But anyway, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm next to enemies or something like that. But So I'm going to try my very best not to get killed by this guy. Now, this guy is actually really hard to defeat, but we're going to do the best we can. So we have to kill all 4 of these guys, and then he will spawn. Okay, so here we go, and we cannot attack him just yet because once he stops flowing, then we'll be able to attack him. So let's get to it. I'm going to be using the chain gun a lot in this fight. This guy has 32,000 health. I believe that's the same amount of health the Ice Queen has. Oh man, okay. New enemy. This is a dragon of some sort. It's a wyvern. And if you do not hit the actual cultist in time, this dragon will spawn from that portal that you saw. Okay, he's just spawned in another dragon. Drink a potion. Yeah, this guy is pretty fast, but as long as you just keep on doing circles around him, his attacks won't be able to harm you. Not too much, anyway. I'm just glad that I have enough ammo for this. And you find the Lunatic Cultist at the dungeon. You will find his followers doing that ritual. You have to kill all 4 of them in order to summon him, and we just defeated him, guys. Let's see if I can grab all of this. Okay, so now that we have defeated the Lunatic Cultist, which actually took a much shorter time than I thought it would, we get this, the Ancient Manipulator, and it's used to craft items from lunar fragments and luminite. We will be able to use this item to make one of my most favorite weapons in the entire game, which is the Phantasm. And the Phantasm is a really good bow. I think it's actually better than the Tsunami that we've been using. So I'm going to go back to the base, and as you can see, guys, we now have these 4 pillars. So there's the Solar Pillar, the Nebula Pillar, the Vortex Pillar, and the Stardust Pillar. And I believe you get the Phantasm by using some of the stuff that you get from the Vortex Pillar. Now, I do have to remind you guys that once I defeat all 4 pillars, the Moon Lord is going to be summoned. So that means if I end the video where I defeat the final pillar, I'm going to have to start recording the next video almost right away, or make it to where it's the final episode. I defeat the final pillar, and then I defeat the Moon Lord, and then we end off the series right there. But yeah, guys, so our base is smack dab right in the middle of the Nebula and Vortex pillars. Now I'm also thinking of maybe once I get to the final pillar, that is going to be the episode where I defeat that pillar along with the Moon Lord all in one go. Because as soon as you destroy all 4 pillars, the Moon Lord gets summoned, and he is the current final boss of Terraria. They're currently making a really big update for Terraria right now, so that might change. So what I'm going to do is I am going to return to our base, and I am going to find a good place to put this manipulator. I'm thinking of putting it up here. It just makes more sense. Okay. And then, now that we have the ancient manipulator, we can start going after the pillars. I don't know, guys. Should I attempt my first pillar? I honestly think that I should attempt my first pillar. So which one are we going to do first? Well, I really do want the Phantasm. So I'm thinking that... hold on, guys. I'm going to check something. Okay, guys, so all we need are 8 vortex fragments to make the Phantasm, and in order for us to make the Phantasm, we need the ancient manipulator, which we already have. So the first pillar that we're going to attack is the Vortex Pillar. Hopefully I have enough to do this thing, because these pillars are not easy to take down. Okay, and I spawned in the ground. That was very weird. Okay, so this is the Vortex Pillar, guys, and you see this force field around it. Yeah, this is that is the force field that we need to down, and you can only down the force fields by killing off the enemies. So we can try to attack the pillar all we want to, but until that force field goes away, we can't do anything. And I think the pillar is having some kind of effect on this area. We're fighting him in the middle of the hollow, and this is all white and stuff like that. I don't know if that is the cause. I don't know if that's because of the hollow or what, but we need to defeat 92 more enemies before this force field will disappear. I can tell by the number down here. And the pillar is spewing out all of the enemies that we need to defeat. And the closer we get to actually getting the force field to go away, the more powerful the enemies will become. So that's what we need to keep in mind here. And the enemies really are not coming out at a very fast pace, so there's that. So I'm hoping that we get all of the fragments that we need to make the Phantasm from this one thing, because I do not want to fight the Moon Lord and then have to go back, fight the Lunatic Cultist, spawn these things in again, and fight the Vortex Pillar again just to get more materials that I need to make the Phantasm. But this one's actually going a bit slower than I thought it would. Okay. So we're just gonna keep on waiting for more enemies to spawn. These enemies are surprisingly easy to defeat. I believe you can get a different kind of armor set from every single pillar, but I am not too sure about that. Okay. Okay, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. Okay, I'm gonna pick up that heart. Now, actually flying in front of the pillar will not hurt you, so I can stay here all the livelong day and be in front of it. But I think as soon as the force field goes away, I'll start taking damage if I touch it. So. I was honestly thinking that these enemies would be a little bit harder to defeat, but because of the weapons that I have and the accessories that I currently have, I'm actually not surprised that I'm owning everything that's coming out of the pillar right now. Oh man, it really needs to step things up. Oh. I need to stop forgetting that I need to disable enemy spawns. Okay, now things are going faster. Now things are going faster. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the chain gun, and I'm gonna start attacking all of these enemies. There was this one time where this pillar actually spawned right underneath my sky base on Nelson's World. I really wasn't expecting that. It was quite coincidental, really, because they normally don't do that. The pillars always spawn in random locations, so, and it's a worldwide thing, so you have to go all over your world and fight them. Okay, you can tell that the force field is starting to lose life because of how opaque, how transparent it's getting. So the more enemies we defeat... Okay, 4, 3, 2... Okay, now we can attack the pillar itself. So the pillars, I believe, have 20,000 HP each. I think. But we're going to rain heavens down on it. Let me see if I'll take damage by flying in front of this thing. No, I won't. Oh, man. Oh, defeated it. Nice. Okay, there we go. We just got a bunch of vortex fragments. Okay, so let's go back and we will make the Phantasm. Let me just teleport back over here and go in front of this thing. Now, there are a variety of different things that we can make. We can make the Vortex Beater. We can make the Vortex Monolith. So we hold a small amount of power from the Vortex Tower. And we're going to make and the Phantasm. But we're going to make the Phantasm. And we got a Deadly Phantasm, but that's not good enough for me. We're going to give it the Sighted. Okay, it really doesn't do much difference. But now we have the Phantasm. We have the Phantasm now, guys. So, so there we go. So I really can't think of anything else to do at the moment. I mean, look, we still have 3 pillars to go. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below telling me what kind of video you want me to do next. I'm also part of a collaboration YouTube channel called the Shoehorn Squad. Me and my 2 best friends are doing that. Go check us out. We only have 1 video up right now, but we promise that we will get another one out as soon as we can. Anyway, guys, this is Just the Savage, aka the Spectrum Gamer, and I will see you guys in episode 31 of our Terraria Let's Play series.